with everybody. And knowing that we don't have to pay for all of the medical expenses, that's huge. We just have to worry about helping Chandler, and he's just my heart.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. We're offering the most powerful stock charts available on the market. The Max Best 1000 charts. Now, the difference between these charts and all the other charts is this follows the money. Yes, it gives you a buy-sell signal. I know you're going to say, well, they all do. No, not true. The difference with the Max Best is they follow the important money, the hedge funds, the biggest banks, the 401ks, the pension fund managers. That's the big difference. They're not following the emotion. That's what most charts do. They follow the money. That's what MaxVest does, follows the money. Check it out. Join my gang, philsgang.com. Oh, and the chart is low as $19.95 a month. For more information, just go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-GANG. We will see you on the charts.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264.
To be able to just get my son to St. Jude and not think about how we will pay for it, it just takes so much weight off of my family. St. Jude allowed me to focus on being a mom to Bryce. And sometimes I'm just in awe of the impact St. Jude has, not only on this community, but the world.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
philsgang.com. What are people saying?
Hi, this is Ron from Washington State, and I subscribe to the Phil's Gang MV2, and I just wanted to let Phil know that right after the election, I made a $7,000 profit using the MV2 on Wells Fargo stock.
Complete guidance and professional education for investors who want to succeed in the stock market.
I've been in the financial business myself about 24 years and very much enjoy the software program for the charts.
I've been a long-time Phil's subscriber, and I just want to recommend it to anybody out there. I think it's a wonderful tool and works very, very well.
Don't wait. For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
If you're looking to make extra income, if you're looking to pay off bills and plan for your retirement, then check out philsgang.com. Philsgang.com is an online educational service that informs you, coaches you, and guides you on how to invest in the stock market. Get daily advice to buy stocks, short stocks, and learn when to get out of your positions. Philsgang.com provides daily webinars, alerts, educational tutorials, and all material is archived. For more information, go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. 877-600-4264.
It took me a long time to be able to say Chandler has cancer, because that is such a scary word. St. Jude takes care of absolutely everything. And knowing that we don't have to pay for all of the medical expenses, that's huge.
St. Jude allowed me to focus on being a mom to Bryce. And sometimes I'm just in awe of the impact St. Jude has, not only on this community, but the world.
St. Jude is uniquely positioned to advance the cures of pediatric cancer, I think better than any other institution in the world. The contributions make a big difference.
Donors are important to us because you get the feeling that you have a team behind you. We have the resources and we have the focus. And so if St. Jude doesn't do it, who will?
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Are you ready to get serious about your financial future? Reduce your debt, pay off those student loans, and prepare for retirement. Taking control of your finances can be intimidating, but with philsgang.com, you'll be educated and guided to make smart investment decisions in the stock market. If the market is up or down, philsgang.com is the only source where you'll learn how to trade stocks and how to invest in the stock market using professional-level skills and strategies. For more information, go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264. The The stocks discussed on Phil's Gang are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. If considering acting on information presented, we first recommend you seek out a competent, licensed professional for advice. Get ready for the radio show that tells you what Wall Street doesn't want you to know.
Oh, I'm a money magnet. Money, money, money's coming to me. Money sets me free. I'm a money magnet. Money, 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 money's coming to me.
It's your daily dose of how to manage your money. And now it's time for Phil's Gang on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. With your host, Phil Grandy.
We heard the comments from the president yesterday. It may not have been something he was intending to announce, but it did catch the markets by surprise when he said he was looking at the revival of Glass-Steagall. We'd heard rumblings from the administration about this before, but it was the first time the president really said this. What did you think when you heard those comments?
That the continued incoherence of policy making at the highest levels in the Trump administration is an ongoing problem. Maybe this is one more thing that's more complicated than he thought about.
Because of your law, this is what the president had to say. He said, I have so many friends of mine that had nice businesses. They can't borrow money, he says. They just can't get any money because the banks just won't let them borrow because of the rules and regulations of your bill, sir. Is that right?
No. The Wall Street Journal, in a reporting article, says no, Trump's wrong. There's plenty of capital.
Unbelievable. What a lie. Welcome to Phil's Gang, coast to coast around the country off the Wall Street Radio Network. What would you expect from Barney Frank? A lowlife. This guy is a pathetic human being. He's incredible. He's the guy who will never take responsibility for $41 trillion being wiped out of this economy and 12 million people losing their homes and 8 million people out of a job, along with the rest of his banking friends. Those banks, Fannie and Freddie, those banks he went to and forced them to buy all the loans, all the bad loans from all the banks. Fannie and Freddie would never buy loans, house mortgage from any bank unless they were a AAA rated loan. They had to have 20% down, some cases 30% down, high income. I mean, AAA. I mean, Fannie and Freddie like were the standard. And you just couldn't. Banks love to sell their loans to Fannie and Freddie. They could loan the money back out again. And keep repeating it over and over, and banks made a lot of money doing that. But it was hard for banks to go ahead and sell their mortgages. They had to hold on to them. It was Barney Frank who changed all that with another nut job, Waters. She's crazy. The two of them. They went to Fannie and Freddie and said, we want people in my low-income neighborhoods, in the center of the cities, who don't have a job, who can't make payments on a house, who don't work. They should be able to have a house too, like everybody else. It's not fair. Remember Obama's fairness? We're not going to drop the tax rate on dividends. Remember, they gave an example. They said, why aren't you lowering your dividend tax rate? Because if you remember, Obama, when Bill Clinton did, and he finally dropped it, he realized he brought in 3-4 times the revenue into the Treasury. When he raised taxes, he was losing revenue. When he brought it down, he was increasing revenue. You know that. So why aren't you? Oh, it's fairness. Fairness. Wait a minute, we got to pay our bills. So what he did, because he didn't lower the tax rate, which he should have lowered to 15%, that would have brought enough revenue to pay our bills. But because we couldn't pay our bills, so tax revenues were down. So what did he do? He took and stuck into Obamacare a tax revenue generating a bill that he hid with 28 taxes to grab from you and me $1 trillion in taxes. Because he was too stupid. He was a socialist. He wanted to be fair. That taxes he lost all this revenue, and then Obamacare, because of that $1 trillion he put in there, raised premiums so high. Well, I don't have to go through it. You know what happened to Obamacare. Stupid. I mean, just totally stupid. So Barney Frank, he and Waters, what's her first name? I can't remember her first name. She's crazy. Maxine Waters forced Fannie and Freddie to take credits that were so bad, credit scores under 500. And so what happened? You and I had to bail out Fannie and Freddie. They blew up. I think it was $185 billion. We had to bail them out. This guy is a loser, Barney Frank. You need Glass-Steagall. Glass-Steagall is a very important law. Remember, Glass-Steagall was a great bill. That was the cure for the 1929-1933 crash. That was the cure. They identified before what happened, why the 1929 and 1933 crash happened. Because when you take a savings bank, you take a commercial bank that does commercial loans, a savings bank, and you take an insurance companies, and you take and put them all together, then you got all of these deposits going to one place, and then these banksters take all that money and they speculate with your money. And so that's what they're doing. And they're taking all this money out, speculating. The 1929, the stock market was going up, and they kept on taking the people's money and speculating, and the market crashed. There's no money left in the banks. So Senator Glass and Senator Steagall came out and said, look, we can't do that. You either got to be a savings bank, and that's it. You got to be a commercial bank. You lend on commercial loans, and that's it. You're either savings, commercial bank, or you're an insurance company. Never again are we going to put the three of you under one roof. So all that money goes into one place, all the consumers' money for you to take and go out and wildly spend it and speculate and cause a crash. 79 years we didn't have a crash. Until when? The 2008, when all of a sudden a gangster by the name of Sandy Weil, he wanted to buy an insurance company. I think it was Travelers. And he couldn't do it under Glass-Steagall. And then at the same time, another gangster, the head of Goldman Sachs, who was our Treasury Secretary at the time under Hank Paulson, under Bill Clinton and under Bush, Hank Paulson became the new chairman of Goldman Sachs. And he wanted to expand Goldman Sachs. He wanted to get into insurance. He wanted to get into loaning mortgage on homes, sell stocks. He wanted to do the same thing. So the two of them got together, and they bought another guy, the head of the Senate Banking Committee and the House Banking Committee. Name was Phil Graham. He said, we'll pay you off. We'll pay you millions of dollars if you take this bill and you change it. So then who were the lobbyists? Larry Summers, who was working for President Clinton at the time. Geithner. Greenspasm. Rubin from Rubin, he was also from Citibank. They lobbied, and they made a deal with Senator Graham. We'll have you, if you do this for us, and you go break this up again, so that we can go get rid of this Glass-Steagall, you repeal it, we'll give you a job at UBS Bank, and you'll make, I forgot what it was, let's say $3 million a year, and you don't have to work at the bank. Just go home. That was the payoff. They gave him some title. And that's what caused the 2008 crash. The same thing that caused this Glass-Steagall Act is the best thing in the world. This guy, Barney Frank, caused the stock market crash. Unbelievable. The guy's just a gangster. Hey, we'll be right back here on Phil's Gang. Join my gang. It's only $39.95 a month.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. philsgang.com. What are people saying?
I've been in the financial business myself about 24 years. Very much enjoy the software program for the charts.
I love the new MV charts on Phil's software, and I'm making profits using them.
Complete guidance and professional education for investors who want to succeed in the stock market.
I love your new MV1, making lots of profits.
I love the chart. You know, I'm limited with time, real good as far as just looking at whatever ticker tells me right away.
I've always enjoyed Phil's straightforwardness and talk about what's really going on.
The new MV1 and MV2 charting software. I particularly like the pre- and post-market candlesticks.
You guys have always been great on the service side. I can't say enough about the service side.
Don't wait. Sign up for Phil's Gang today. Give us a call at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. philsgang.com. What are people saying?
Hi, this is Ron from Washington State, and I subscribe to the Phil's Gang MV2, and I just wanted to let Phil know that right after the election, I made a $7,000 profit using the MV2 on Wells Fargo stock.
Complete guidance and professional education for investors who want to succeed in the stock market.
I've been in the financial business myself about 24 years, and very much enjoy the software program for the charts.
I've been a long-time Phil subscriber, and I just want to recommend it to anybody out there. I think it's a wonderful tool and works very, very well.
Don't wait. For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264. Phil's Gang offers one of the best collections of charts available on the internet. We built the Max Best software to have the best features, and so far, the early reviews have been great. So don't just be an investor, be a Max investor with Phil's Gang Max Investor 1000 stock charts. For more information, simply go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. 877-600-4264. philsgang.com. What are people saying?
Hi, this is Ron from Washington State, and I subscribe to the Phil's Gang MV2, and I just wanted to let Phil know that right after the election, I made a $7,000 profit using the MV2 on Wells Fargo stock.
Complete guidance and professional education for investors who want to succeed in the stock market.
I've been in the financial business myself about 24 years, and very much enjoy the software program for the charts.
I've been a long-time Phil subscriber, and I just want to recommend it to anybody out there. I think it's a wonderful tool and works very, very well.
Don't wait. For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
It took me a long time to be able to say Chandler has cancer, because that is such a scary word. When St. Jude finds something that works well with a certain cancer, they share that with everybody. And knowing that we don't have to pay for all of the medical expenses, that's huge. We just have to worry about helping Chandler, and he's just my heart.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
To many, the stock market is shrouded in mystery. When do I buy? What is the stop loss? Should I invest on earnings? Is it time to sell? At Phil's Gang, we want to clear the investing fog for you. We want to make you an educated, confident investor and ultimately a profitable investor. For over 15 years, Phil Grandy and the Phil's Gang team have been dedicated to teaching, guiding, and answering your investment questions. And with our new Phil's Gang website and customer support messaging system, we are available when you need us to answer your questions. philsgang.com can be accessed from your home, office, or any location where internet is available. Plus, you never miss a beat because all material is archived. From beginner beginner to seasoned investor, Phil Grandy has been helping thousands of people learn about the stock market and producing smart investing strategies. Whether you're preparing for retirement or looking to secure your financial future, learn, invest, and profit with Phil's Gang. That's philsgang.com. For more information, call 877-600-GANG, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264. Welcome back. You're not a regular listener to Phil's Gang? What, are you nuts? Listen to Phil Grandy and check out philsgang.com. Now, here's Phil.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. Okay, you know, Ford, General Motors, Toyota, their auto sales came in down. There is a big problem with auto sales, especially the delinquencies. I mean, people just don't get it. I mean, this economy... you know, what they've done, they've been able to convince people the economy is wonderful by artificially pumping the stock market up with quantitative easing, where they continue to have and print the money. I'm talking about the Federal Reserve, and giving that money to the banks so they go out and buy their own stocks and so forth to push the stock market up when there's no growth in the economy. How can you have an economy, a stock market that's up 220%, and yet the economy is only grown 1.8%, or for the first quarter, 0.7%? I mean, just take a moment and think about that. How can a stock market go up over 200%, but the economy is not growing? That means consumption is not happening. Nobody is going out and buying enough stuff. They can't buy enough stuff because their wages aren't there. The wages aren't increasing because companies aren't plowing their money back into their companies, so that production gets better and wages get better so people can go out and consume more. And what company is going to do that? No company in their right mind is going to invest. It's a joke. They keep giving these companies free money. Now Trump wants to cut their taxes to try to stimulate them to, okay, if I'm going to cut your taxes from 35% down to 15%, now put your money in, plow it back into your company. And when you plow it back in your company, now production will go up. Your wages for your people go up. They'll go out, they got extra money, they'll save, and they'll consume. And then the economy grows. See, what's been happening, our economy doesn't grow. Our debt grows. In other words, if you keep on growing your debt first and your economy behind it, that's what's happening there. The debt is getting so huge, but we're not growing enough of an economy to absorb it. We're not growing enough of a GDP to absorb it. Our total debt is 300%. It's more than that. It's like 800% if you can include the non-capitalized liabilities. And this low growth that we have of 0.7%, that produces less income. Even the 1.8% growth, GDP growth, produces less income. And when you got less income, people don't go out and pay. Now, what CEO would sit there and say, okay, I'm going to invest $1 million in my company with new equipment, new machinery, so I can produce more? They're going to say, why should I produce more? Nobody's going to buy it. So I'm going to buy my own stock back because I'm paid by stock options. So they go to the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve gives them all kinds of money. Now they get money for less than, they get their money for less than 1%. And they buy their own stock back and they make a fortune. Would you buy new equipment? Would you buy $1 million worth of new equipment if you saw consumers aren't buying? If consumers were, let's say you owned a company and you manufactured wheelbarrows. And you sold last year 10,000 wheelbarrows. The year before, 10,000. The year before that, maybe 8,000. You don't see any growth. The year before that, 7,000. So if you're not seeing people buying wheelbarrows, Will you go and take your profits and put it in your company, or would you go and buy its stock to push the stock up so that you make an extra $20 million that year as CEO? So the idea that Trump thinks he's going to cut taxes, which, by the way, is never going to happen. Get out of your head that this tax cut is going to happen. It's not going to happen. Nor is the health care. Nowhere in any shape or form that was presented to us when he was running. They're not going to let it happen. The Republicans won't let it happen. So my point is, what is getting crazy here is they're not letting the stock market drop. So they did the quantitative easing to make sure the stock market wouldn't drop. I told you about that the other day. They don't want the government doesn't want the stock market to drop because they're going to pick up all the pensions. 10 million people whose pensions are sitting out there with companies that are going to blow up. And the government has to pick up those pensions. So they keep the stock market up to keep the stock prices up to keep those pensions up. And then you got all the derivatives. Remember all the derivatives, those insurance companies, all the insurance policies? We'll call them insurance policies. Remember Larry Summers goes out and he says, hey, buy all these mortgages from me. I'll sell you $10 million in mortgages. Here's a derivative insurance. If any even go bad, we'll go ahead and we'll cover your losses. And he never covered the losses. Well, the derivatives are still out there. The banks are still responsible for those. So they got to hold the banks up to hold up the derivatives. Because if they don't hold the banks up, those derivatives go bad, the banks go out of business. So what's going on in here is we're getting no economic growth because we got all debt. Look at the consumer debt. The consumer debt is increased by $545 billion. We have $12 trillion worth of household debt. But wages aren't going up. So if wages aren't going up, people can't consume. And so these companies, I don't care how much you cut their taxes, even if you got the tax cuts through, they're going to still continue to buy their own stock. And they're going to keep printing money. They're going to continue. And I'll tell you, I swear to God, Trump will have to do the same thing. He can't go out and spend all the spending programs on the military and all the spending put on roads and bridges and all the spending he is doing, our defense. And I mean, he's spending so much money, but he's not cutting anything. So when he spends, he's going to double the deficits that Obama had. And here's the thing, the mess that Obama left behind. You're talking about a mess. I mean, we never see. You remember when Trump said this?
I inherited a mess.
And he did. And to add to this mess, another big mess, they're going to have to keep the stock market up forever. It's unbelievable. We'll talk more about that when we get back. We're going to take a look at some stocks.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy of Phil's Gang. I got a great opportunity for those people who are discussing with the market who don't have time to learn. What you do is follow me in the exchange-traded fund that I'm invested in. Every day you go to my site and you can see exactly what I am doing with my investment, and you can mimic me. Nobody else dares do that. Join the gang, philsgang.com.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy of Phil's Gang. I got a great opportunity for those people who are discussing with the market who don't have time to learn. What you do is follow me in the exchange-traded fund that I'm invested in. Every day you go to my site and you can see exactly what I am doing with my investment, and you can mimic me. Nobody else dares do that. Join the gang, philsgang.com.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Performing technical analysis is no easy task for any investor unless conducted with a professional stock charting service. At Phil's Gang, we offer a choice of high-power, color-coded stock charts, all seamlessly integrated, so you can tackle the market the way you want to. The Phil's Gang Max Best 1000 Stock Charts. From Phil's Gang are high-performance HTML5 web-based charts that work on any browser and device, so you can put live streaming data and fully interactive charts in the palm of your hand. Phil Grandy designed the MV software to have the best features, and so far the early reviews have been great. You can plot charts on an intraday basis as well as on a daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, or annual basis. There is also a built-in watch list that you can customize to your liking. For more information, go to philsgang.com, philsgang.com, or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. 877-600-4264. Recognized as an Axiom Business Award winner, the highly acclaimed Walter's Way book, authored by legendary businessman Walter Scheer, is now available in digital and audio formats at the philsgang.com Bud C store. Enjoy the stories of a relief kid who survived TB, corporate betrayal, bankruptcy, and still made millions and touched the lives of billions. Don't wait. Pick up the Walter's Way book in hardcover, digital, and in audio format at philsgang.com.
It took me a long time to be able to say Chandler has cancer, because that is such a scary word. St. Jude takes care of absolutely everything. And knowing that we don't have to pay for all of the medical expenses, that's huge.
St. Jude allowed me to focus on being a mom to Bryce. And sometimes I'm just in awe of the impact St. Jude has, not only on this community, but the world.
St. Jude is uniquely positioned to advance the cures of pediatric cancer, I think better than any other institution in the world. The contributions make a big difference.
Donors are important to us because you get the feeling that you have a team behind you. We have the resources and we have the focus. And so if St. Jude doesn't do it, who will?
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures. Saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Are you ready to get serious about your financial future? Reduce your debt, pay off those student loans, and prepare for retirement. Taking control of your finances can be intimidating, but with philsgang.com, you'll be educated and guided to make smart investment decisions in the stock market. If the market is up or down, philsgang.com is the only source where you'll learn how to trade stocks and how to invest in the stock market using professional-level skills and strategies. For more information, go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264. philsgang.com. What are people saying?
I've been in the financial business myself about 24 years. Very much enjoy the software program for the charts.
I love the new MV charts on Phil's software, and I'm making profits using them.
Complete guidance and professional education for investors who want to succeed in the stock market.
I love your new MV1, making lots of profits.
I love the chart. I'm limited with time. Real good as far as just looking at whatever ticker tells me right away.
I've always enjoyed Phil's straightforwardness and talk about what's really going on.
The new MV1 and MV2 charting software. I particularly like the pre- and post-market candlesticks.
You guys have always been great on the service side. I can't say enough about the service side.
Don't wait. Sign up for Phil's Gang today. Give us a call at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Welcome back to the Phil's Gang Radio Show. Want to know more about Phil's Gang? Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG, 877-600-4264. The Phil's Gang Stock Corner is brought to you by the MaxVest 1000 Stock Charts.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. Let's make some money. Okay. The stock market has been going sideways for about 46 days until a week ago when we had a 200-point rally because of France. And I still don't understand, as many years I've been in this business, what does the stock market in France have to do with the Dow 40 stocks? Nothing. Then the day after, we had Caterpillar rally and we had McDonald's rally. So here's what happened. Aunt B knew that they could fix the numbers on Caterpillar. They would just change the accounting, use a different accounting that would give them a profit instead of a loss. They knew McDonald's was going to be huge. They knew that France, we were going to have a rally on Monday because they knew how the election was going to go. So she used the French rally to take and artificially push the market up through quantitative easing. All she does is print money, give it to 5 of the 9 largest banks, tell them to go out that morning and buy stocks. And when they buy stocks, the market goes up. We've been doing that since 2008 because it makes no sense that your stock market goes up because of France. If you're in France and you got French stocks, I understand it. And since then, if you look at the stock market, it stopped. It stopped. So they rigged it. And the stock market now has been going sideways again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days. After it's been going sideways for 46 days. One day it went up, then we go. Think about it. We went sideways 46 days. We had the French rally last Monday, and now we are in our 6th day going sideways again. And the banks aren't breaking out to push the stock market up. You always need the banks to go up first, and then the stock market follows. Not happening. See, I don't care which way the market goes, and I don't want you to care either. So that's one good thing about my gang members. And that's why I think I have the best online educational system when it comes to investing. And I think I have the best system, especially for people who are so busy they can't participate, they don't have time in the learning part, where all they do is follow me in the individual stocks or the few exchange-traded funds that I'm in. And then you just follow me through the year in those exchange-traded funds, like the spiders, and do exactly what I do. You're not giving me money. I'm not a fund. You're just following me. You have access. You have transparency of what I'm doing, so you do exactly what I do. And you just hang in there for a year, over a year, and you'll do fine. And that's so easy. What a way to make money. You got somebody, you got a mentor, you got a coach, you got somebody you're following. You're looking over their shoulders. Who's going to let you do that for $39.95? Are you kidding me? Do you think a professional investor will let you do that for $39.95? I don't think so. All I ask you, send some money to St. Jude if you're successful. That's all. That's $39.95. The reason it works is because I have, over the years, of all these stock market crashes I lived through, have identified one thing. And now it's worse than ever. Think about it. It's worse than ever. We have a stock market, right? That and if you think how markets work, you always think, well, it's a hot stock. Stocks are good. The economy's no. We got our total debt is 800%. Our total debt to GDP, meaning our total debt to how fast the size of our economy is 800%. That's insane. That includes Medicare liability, Social Security liability. That's insane. The debt is growing faster than our economy, and is why we have so many defaults and why defaults are increasing. Anytime your debt grows faster than you can grow the economy, you're in trouble. So what they have been doing, instead of growing the economy, they say, we'll grow the stock market. We'll push the stock market up artificially so people think the economy's doing good. And that's what they've been doing. So fine with me. We'll make money on the way up. We'll make money on the way down. And when President Trump, he's going to start his spending, which is going to be twice the amount of Obama's spending. And I mean, I don't think he thinks he's just going to push a button and all of a sudden the economy's going to grow. I just explained in the last segment that companies, I don't care until they see proof that customers are going to increase their spending, increase their buying. They're not going to take even their tax, when all the tax savings, they're not going to put it in their company to produce things faster and better so that your wages go up if you work for that company. Why would they? Why would they? Were they going to put $10 million in their company and their business doesn't increase and they lose money? They want to see growth first. But for 8 years, Obama never worked on growth. He never worked on jobs. Think about it. You talk about a mess. The lowest labor force participation rate since 1970. That's what he left behind. The highest number of people without a job ever, 102 million. Then you got the debt, as I said, growing faster than our economy. And Trump thinks he can reverse it by cutting taxes for companies, and they're just all of a sudden going to plow money in their companies. I don't think so. So he leaves behind a creation of 11 million jobs that suck. 75.4% of all those jobs fall into a category of low-paying, part-time part-time service jobs, mostly health care providers, waiters and waitresses. The weakest economic growth we've seen in 37 years, the largest national debt in history, and the largest household debt at $12 trillion, the highest increase in poverty, especially among women and children, in spite of Obama's QE program, which he had the Federal Reserve print money and contributed the money to portions of our economy, the QE. Think about it. The Federal Reserve, he has the Federal Reserve print and pump into the economy directly $10 trillion. He prints another $4 trillion and went into our largest banks. Not to lend, so they could purchase their own stocks and buy more bank stocks to push the stock market up. Printed another $6 trillion. Went to the company CEOs all over the country, not to grow, but to buy their own stocks back, to grow the stock market. The biggest quantitative easing contribution was $85 million a month. They bought 10-year treasuries, the Federal Reserve, to force everybody out of the bond market into the stock market. Nothing was contributed towards good jobs. So our economy's growing at 1.8%, stock market's growing at 220%. We have the highest credit card delinquencies with a stock market at 220%, the highest subprime auto loan delinquencies at 220% stock market, the highest student loan delinquencies, the highest number of individuals out of a job, the worst durable goods sales in history. So expectations for Trump is way too high because 70% of our economy comes from consumption. These low-paying jobs Obama created and left behind is a headwind for Trump. He is going to have to do QE2 or QE4. So what we're going to do as a gang, what I always do, we're going to follow the money. So join me now, 877-600-GANG. Call right now and join the gang. It's $39.95 a month. Follow me. If you're very, very busy and you don't have time for my educational part of my program, that's fine. Just participate with me in my exchange-traded funds. When I have an ETF, which I have 3 I'm working on now, you just follow me for a year. You can get out anytime you want. It's up to you. You can do it one day and leave. But I stay with these for 1 year, invest in them for a year. I work them, and you can follow me. Or if you want to be more active, then you can take advantage of our online programs, our online teaching programs from 9:30 in the morning to 11 o'clock, our updates, all that sort of thing. But with what they're doing now, by making sure, it looks to me like they're trying to take this market and to rally another 200%. And if they fail and it goes down, we'll be on the right side. It doesn't matter for my gang. Join right now, 877-600-GANG. We'll be right back.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. philsgang.com. What are people saying?
Hi, this is Ron from Washington State, and I subscribe to the Phil's Gang MV2, and I just wanted to let Phil know that right after the election, I made a $7,000 profit using the MV2 on Wells Fargo stock.
Complete guidance and professional education for investors who want to succeed in the stock market.
I've been in the financial business myself about 24 years and very much enjoy the software program for the charts.
I've been a long-time Phil subscriber, and I just want to recommend it to anybody out there. I think it's a wonderful tool and works very, very well.
Don't wait. For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264. Phil's Gang offers one of the best collections of charts available on the internet. We built the Max Best software to have the best features, and so far, the early reviews have been great. So don't just be an investor, be a Max Investor with Phil's Gang Max Investor 1000 stock charts. For more information, simply go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. Many of you do not have time to be in individual stocks. You don't have time to learn. Well, I have a solution. As I invest in my own exchange-traded fund, like the Spiders, you now can follow me. Every time I do something, you do exactly what I do. It's a great opportunity. Join philsgang.com.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Hey gang, be sure to join Phil Grandy at Michael's on East in Sarasota on Wednesday, May 10th for an open discussion presented by Tampa's AM 860, The Answer, called Taking an Honest Look at the First 100 Days of the Trump Presidency. Phil will be joined by Mike Gallagher, Larry Elder, Captain Matt Bruce, and Bill Bunkley. The VIP reception starts at 5:30 and the main event is at 7 p.m. Again, that's Wednesday, May 10th at Michael's on East in Sarasota. For all ticket information, simply go to philsgang.com and click on the banner on the homepage.
To be able to just get my son to St. Jude and not think about how we will pay for it, it just takes so much weight off of my family. St. Jude allowed me to focus on being a mom to Bryce. And sometimes I'm just in awe of the impact St. Jude has, not only on this community, but the world.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Let me ask you, could you use a little extra money? Well, of course you could. Everybody could use that extra revenue to pay the bills, pay down debt, or save for retirement. With philsgang.com, we help you make that extra income in the stock market. For over 15 years, Phil Grandy and the philsgang.com team have helped folks who are interested in learning short-term and long-term investing by providing professional-level charting skills and strategies. philsgang.com is your #1 source to learn, invest, and profit in the stock market. And you can do this for only $39.95 a month. With philsgang.com, you learn how to invest in the market, you get daily investment coaching guidance, and you will learn to invest and trade with the skills and confidence of the pros. Just log on and get daily investment instructions and make profits. Plus, all philsgang.com material is archived for your convenience. Go to philsgang.com to join or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Call today.
Welcome back. This segment of the Phil's Gang Show is brought to you by the MV Stock Charts. For more information, go to philsgang.com.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. Okay, a couple things. One, here's the number, 877-600-GANG. Join my gang, and you can follow me. Why don't you follow me on my exchange-traded fund? Follow me on the Spiders. Just do the Spiders. Stay with me on the Spiders. You can stay, look, $39.95. You can leave the next day if you want. But I like to stay in the exchange-traded funds for a year. So I get both sides, on the way up, on the way down, and you can work them. I mean, like now, we got a sideways market going for 46 days. It went up for one day. Now it's going sideways for 6 days. It takes time to work it. So you really want to be in an exchange-traded fund, a long-term investment, so you're not in and out, in and out. And that's a great way. And if you're working every day, it's a way for you to participate and just do exactly what I do. Whatever I do with my Spiders or my other two exchange traded funds, you're going to do the same thing. What a beautiful way. If you have more time, want to be more active with individual stocks, you got to have time to be active with individual stocks, okay? With the exchange traded fund, no, you don't need any lessons, you don't need nothing. You just do exactly what I do, okay? So here's the number, 877-600-GANG, and we don't care what they're going to do. We don't care if they're going to grow the economy or not grow the economy. If the market goes down, great. We're going to make money on the way down. Your problem is you never made money when the market's dropping. Here's the other thing. You never got out. Give you a good example. Home Depot. This is one of the stocks my gang members love to buy. And a great example. This chart, my MV2, color-coded chart, turned green. And it turned green on January 18th. And the stock went up 8%. And then on March 9th, it turned red. It said to get out. Now, how nice is that? It told you when to get out, and it was so accurate. And so they never lost that 8%. Your 401k doesn't do that. And by the way, the impact of fees, that cannot be understated. Fees kill you in your 401k. So why don't you try this for a month and follow me just in my spiders? Or if you have more time, then come to my class every morning at 9:30 to 11. It's open. It's archived for you while we're investing. When the market's open, all archived. So here's the number. Call now, 877-600-GANG, and this way you'll be able to make money no matter what lousy decisions they make that makes the market go down or up. Hey, they may rig this market to go up another 200%. Unbelievable. You know, I always criticize these fancy pants, these analysts who come on CNBC. I've never heard something so more stupid in my life than this today. Listen to this guy. This is, they're talking about breaking up the banks.
We are looking at that. There's, some people that want to go back to the old system, right? So we're going to look at that. We're looking at it right now, as we speak. And Dodd-Frank is going to be very, very seriously changed, so the banks can go back to loaning money. That's right. Dodd-Frank prevented the banks from loaning money. Now, so here's Charles Payne of Fox News, of Fox Financial News. So he starts arguing with this analyst. Here goes the argument.
While the stock market's near all-time highs, while banks are paying out billion-dollar bonuses, I just think that the little guy watching this show that wants a house or to start a business is getting the shaft.
He's not getting the shaft from the bank. He's getting a shaft from the government. He's getting a shaft because people like you don't understand what a bank does.
Charles Payne doesn't understand what a bank is. But this guy does, this idiot. Now listen to what this idiot says.
So why not break up the big banks?
Well, one reason is because you're going to increase the price of all financial products to American consumers.
Lie, 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 lie.
Two is because you're going to reduce the number of banking products that they will be able to access.
Lie, 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 lie.
Three is because you will so weaken the position of the United States in the global financial markets that you'll start to threaten the dollar as a reserve currency.
I am concerned that the size of some of these institutions, if you do prosecute, if you do bring a criminal charge, it will have a negative impact on the national economy.
Right? Basically, it is the big banks who fund the small businesses. It is not the small banks who do it. How do the big banks do it? They do it with credit cards. If I want to borrow money as a small business, I don't go to a bank and sit down and talk to a loan officer and ask what the terms would be, etc. I pull out my credit card and I get the loan. And I do that because not only do I get the loan, but I get points.
Can you imagine this dope? He says, he's an analyst. He never ran a business. You imagine, I'm going to go take my credit card and I'm going to borrow at 22% interest so I can get points to fly somewhere. I wouldn't be in business very long if I go around borrowing money at 22%. That's loan shark rates. And this dope, who people listen to every day, is saying small businesses, they don't need the banks. They just use their credit cards. This guy never ran a small business. He wouldn't know a small business if he tripped over it. What a stupid, stupid, stupid statement that is. Can you imagine running your business on credit cards? I know somebody who tried that. Then the business almost went broke. Believe me. Unbelievable. You're going to run your business using credit cards? You got to be nuts. If your business is in that kind of shape that you can't go to the bank, if you're a small business, you can't go to the bank and borrow money, you got to use credit cards, it's over. You're going to file bankruptcy. It's just, what a stupid statement. When I heard that this morning, I said, thank God I use charts, because it's the same exact people who are telling you to buy stocks like this.
We've got an earnings alert on Advanced Micro falling more than 9% right now in the after hours.
I'll tell you what, it might take a little bit for this to work itself out for that exact reason, right? It's going to be a show me, prove it to me stock. But as long as it holds above $12, I actually think you're okay getting in at about that level.
Yeah, and when he said that, guess what happened? On my chart at $13, it turned red. It turned red. That was on April 10th. It turned red. When this guy made that decision, he has all his people in. They didn't get out of AMD. My people using the MV2 color-coded chart told them to it turned red, said, get out, take your money out. You can see the money being taken out by the big hedge funds, by all the big banks. And it dropped. It dropped from $13.53 to $10.41, like that. 23% drop. Listening to this dope on CNBC telling the people, hold on the stock, as long as it stays above 12 bucks. Well, this thing went down so fast, this thing dropped in 1 minute from $13.53 to $11.74, and then right down to $10.38. Please, join my gang, 877-600-GANG. I don't tell you I'm going to make you rich. I'm not saying that. But I'll give you a good night's sleep, especially for people who realize that you're not going to retire with a 401k because the fees kill you. The fees kill you. And do you really think your brokers and your planners have a fiduciary relationship with you? They care about you? They don't. So this way, at least when I own the Spiders or the other 2 exchange-traded funds I'm in, there's about 5 exchange-traded funds I switch back and forth from. When I'm in those, then what you do is just go online, you buy your same exchange-traded fund that I have. And when I invest, you invest. When I add, you add. When I take my profits, you take profits. I do it every night after the radio show. I do a little video, and my gang just, after supper, they take 2 minutes to look at it. Say, okay, what did Phil do today with this exchange rate? I wonder if I should add or take some off. And you see what I did. You do the same thing. And then later, if you want to get more aggressive, then you can attend my classes online. I mean, I got so many different products. But to me, I think the easiest thing for people who are just too busy, they can't devote that amount of time to learning. What a wonderful way. No, I don't think anybody offers this. I don't know of any professional that offers that you can look at what he's investing in and copy what he's doing. So here's the number. Call now, 877-600-GANG. And then if you want, you can get the chart, the color-coded chart. It's the best way of doing it. But you're going to listen to guys like that go and use a credit card to run your business? Boy, that's a good idea, huh? Wow. We'll see you on the charts. Call now, 877-600-GANG.
You have been listening to Phil's Gang with your host, Phil Grandy, on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Remember to visit Phil's website at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or call the office, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
It's up to me to make my dream.
You do exactly what I do. It's a great opportunity. Join philsgang.com.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877